If you've got a Google TV box, chances are you're not taking full advantage of that box. I've got 5 hacks that they don't tell you about that let us simplify our Google TV box, speed up the Google TV box. Number 5, I think, is my favorite because I'm going to show you how to reprogram any button on your remote control to do whatever you want. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk, and I'm diving deep into the Google TV interface because I want to show you how to take advantage of these features that nobody tells you about. Let's get right into it. Number 1 is cleaning up the Google TV homepage. Some people love it, some people don't, because there's a lot of stuff on here. You've got the ribbon on the top that has some advertisements in it. Then you've got your top picks. You've got your apps, which of course you need, but then you've got continue watching. Here you've got some YouTube suggestions. You've got free to watch movies, recommended videos, things that are on right now, etc., etc., etc. It just keeps going and going. And if this drives you crazy and all you want is a list of your apps, there's actually a really easy way inside Google TV to do this, and they just don't tell you about this. So go all the way back up to the top, go to the right over into the settings option, and then we'll go into all settings. Now tap down until you get to that third option that says accounts and profiles. Go into the account that you're currently using. This is the account I'm using right now, so I'll click into that. And now you got to go all the way towards the bottom of this list, and you've got an option here called apps only mode. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to remove all the other stuff on your home screen, sort of, except for your apps. I'll show you what I mean. So select that and turn that on. It's going to give you a warning telling you exactly what it's doing, that it's removing all the suggestions, and I will again select turn on. Now we're going to jump back to the home screen. You'll see it's actually reloading right now, and wait until you see the difference here. So unfortunately, that ribbon at the top that usually has advertisements in it does not go away. That's frustrating, but everything else is gone, and you literally just have a list of the apps that you have installed. And on the bottom here, it does warn you, hey, apps only mode is enabled. You can adjust it in your settings. So again, this ribbon won't go away, and that is frustrating because these are essentially advertisements. There are more complicated ways to get rid of this by replacing the entire launcher on Google TV. That's another video for another day. I'll have to do that deep dive, but for now, you can get rid of most of the other peripheral stuff on your homepage. Number 2 is most definitely hidden, but this could be a huge help if you have an older Google TV box or Google TV and you want to speed it up. You feel like it's just kind of laggy and slow. Let me show you what this is, because Google TV, when it's working right, is cool and smooth and liquidy, and it's got all these cool animations. Well, you can actually turn those animations off, and then it makes things feel a lot snappier, again, especially for those older Google TV boxes. Let me show you how to do it. So we've got to go into settings and then go into all settings. And now we've got to enable developer mode. And it's pretty easy to turn this on. Go down to system. When you get to system, go to about and then click over, and now go down to where it says Android TV OS build. See that option right there? Here's what we're going to do. When I've got that highlighted, I'm going to click the select button in the middle of my remote 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It says you are now a developer. So when you click it a certain number of times, and it'll pop up and count you down, and as you saw, it said you're now a developer. Now you know you're in developer mode. It doesn't change a ton. It just provides you with another menu. So hit the back button, and we'll go down, still remaining in the system section, and we have an option right here called developer options. So inside developer options, you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff that probably won't make a lot of sense to most of us, but what we're looking for, and it's pretty far down, you'll see it down here. It is called window animation scale, transition animation scale, animator duration scale. And you can change the speed of these animations, but in this case, I want to turn them all off. So I'm going to go into each one, turn them off. There's, again, 3 of them in total, and it turns off all the window and menu animations. There will still be some animations within Google, but what you'll notice is that most of those animations are gone. It simply snaps and clicks from one thing to the next. Now, this doesn't change functionality. It really doesn't change overall speed of the device, but it makes it feel faster. And if you're rocking an older Google TV and you don't want to update the Google TV or update it with a new Google TV box, this is an easy way to just make it feel that much more snappier. Number 3 isn't necessarily hidden, but I don't think a lot of people take advantage of this because I just don't think a lot of people realize they can do this. But you can actually pair a set of Bluetooth headphones or earbuds with your Google TV device and listen to your television show, whatever you're watching, wirelessly without bothering other people in the room. Really quite easy to do this, guys. Just got to go up again to the settings menu. We'll go to all settings, and then we'll go down all the way towards the bottom to this option that says remotes and accessories. We'll select that. I've got a little tiny set of earbuds. These are actually the JLab JBuds Mini. I did a whole video on these. You can check that out if you want. Some of the tiniest earbuds you'll find. I've got one in my ear right now, but I'll click pair, remote, or accessory, and it'll bring up a list of the Bluetooth devices that it sees nearby. In this case, you can see the JLab JBuds Mini pop up. I will select those headphones. Now it's simply going to ask me if I want to pair that. I'll select pair. Now it's pairing the Google TV box with these earbuds. So now the audio output from the Google TV box is going to come to my earbuds instead of going to my TV speakers. And this is kind of cool. If you've got the Bluetooth headphones connected and you want to switch back and forth between the headphones and the speakers on your TV, you can do that pretty easily. Go up to the top, go over to the settings icon, click on that, and then go down to this option right here. It says audio output. You'll see it's got the name of my earbuds on there, but if I click on that, I can actually switch back and forth between the TV output and the Bluetooth headphones output. Kind of cool. And if you've got multiple Bluetooth headphones connected, you could switch between those headphones as well. Number 4 and number 5 are power features. If you've got a Google TV box, you've got to be utilizing this, and they're kind of connected. So I'm going to kind of talk about them together, but they're both involving buttons on the remote. One button that's underutilized, and then these goofy buttons on the bottom that have Disney Plus and Paramount and Netflix. If you don't use those services, those buttons are useless. Well, they're not useless, and I'm going to show you how to reprogram those. But first, I want to talk about the button all the way on the top of the remote. It is a star button. Newer Google TV boxes and TVs have this star button, and did you know you can program that star button to do whatever you want? And it's actually really easy to set up. All you got to do is tap the star button on your remote, and it should bring up this option that says, what do you want to do? Let's create a shortcut. You've got two options. You can have it jump right into your Google Home control panel, which is cool. If you use Google Home on your Google TV box or within your house, this is a great use for the star button. Or you can simply set it up for any app that you've got installed on your Google TV box. So for example, if I use Philo, which I do here in my home, I can hit create shortcut. And now when I hit that star button on the remote, it'll jump right into the Philo app instead of wanting to program it. And here's a pro tip for you. If you've got that star button programmed and you want to change it, just hold the button down. It'll take you right back to that shortcut configuration screen, and you can set it up to do something else. Number 5 is one that everyone should do. As I mentioned, those goofy buttons on the bottom of your remote that say all the different streaming services, many of them you don't use. Well, guess what? You can utilize those buttons, and here's how you do it. It's a little bit more complicated than the star button, not that difficult. It's going to start by downloading an app. So go into your app store or your app section on your Google TV and search for Button Mapper. Once we search for that, we should get an app called, affectionately, Button Mapper. So you'll want to install this app on your Google TV. It's a small app. It takes a matter of seconds to install. Once it's installed, select Open to open the app. And the first thing it's going to do is give you this warning box. It's saying Start Accessibility Service. Please go to System Settings, Accessibility, and enable the Button Mapper Accessibility Service. So what does that mean? Well, the way it remaps these buttons is by tapping into the accessibility features within the Google TV box. You don't have to know a lot about it, but I'm going to show you what it means by changing that setting. When you hit OK, it should jump you into your settings screen automatically, and then simply go down to the option you have that says accessibility. And then if you go down to the bottom of this menu, you'll see that you've now got a couple of options here for apps, one of them being Button Mapper, and you just have to turn this on. The app is not able to turn it on itself, so it needs you to turn it on manually, hit OK in order for this app to work. Once that's turned on, you should be good to go. Okay, so hop back into the Button Mapper app, and you'll see you can remap the volume up, volume down keys, and you can also add buttons. So I'm going to select Add Buttons, and then I'll go down and pick to add a button. So it's saying press a button you want to add. So I'm going to press the Disney Plus button on my remote because I don't use Disney Plus in my home. It's automatically going to say, okay, that's button 9, and then you'll go down and select the button you just added. It's going to pop this up telling you about pro features. You can buy the pro version, but you don't need it for what we're trying to do right here, right now. So go ahead and hit no thanks, and then you can go into this and you've got the option to customize it. So turn on customize, and then you can select what do you want it to do when you single tap, when you double tap, or when you long press. I'm just messing around with the single tap right now because we're going to start with very basic functionality here. But let's select single tap, and then it gives you a list of all the things you can do. So you've got a whole bunch of options here. You can have it take you home, show a menu. It even says open camera, but that's probably more for a phone than it is for a Google TV box. So we'll ignore that. Your Google TV, for example, doesn't have a flashlight. We'll ignore that as well. But if you go all the way to the top, you have this option called Actions, and I'll select that. And this is where you get more of those options that you're more likely going to want to use. So you can select Applications, for example. It'll give you a list of all your different applications, and I can say, you know what? I want this to open the Play Store when I hit that button. So now you can see it change the icon when it goes to single tap, and now I can go ahead and just hit my home button, and if I hit that Disney Plus button on my remote, watch what happens. Instead of opening up Disney Plus, it now opens up the Google Play Store. So these buttons that have been useless on your remote for so long are finally useful for something. Was that helpful for you? If you found this helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Helps me grow here on YouTube, but it also helps you see my videos when I post new ones. And I want to see your comments below, guys. Which of these features did you already know about, or which ones are you already going to go over to your Google TV and try out right now? Because I'd love to hear feedback on what was helpful and even what wasn't helpful. I've got a lot more cool demo how-to videos, hack videos like this, product reviews, product unboxings coming your way. If you're into geeky stuff like I am, make sure you hang out here on the channel on YouTube. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.